صباح الخير واهلا وسهلا بالجميع باعمال اليوم الثاني. الحقيقه ارتأينا نعمل هذا المؤتمر الصحفي مع الساده المشاركين باعمال المؤتمر للاعلان على القمه المصرفيه العربيه الدوليه حتعقد ان شاء الله هالسنه بفرانكفورت بالتعاون مع فرانكفورت مين فاينانس اللي هي مؤسسة التمويل بألمانيا، وهي مؤسسة حكومية أسست عام 2008. الهدف الرئيسي تبعها إنه تتواصل مع المجتمعات الأوروبية والعربية تحديداً لتقديم التسهيلات للمؤسسات اللي بتحب فعلاً تستثمر بفرانكفورت. It's my pleasure to welcome Mr. Herbertus Vass, with the Managing Director of the Frankfurt Main Finance, who's gonna tell us about UAB-FMF cooperations, and he's gonna announce the International Arab Banking Summit, which is gonna be organized with cooperation between Union of Arab Banks and Frankfurt Main Finance under the high patronage of the Federal Minister of Finance of Germany, Mr. Lender. Mr. Vass, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much. Dear Mr. Wissam, ladies and gentlemen, it's a great pleasure to see you this morning. It's been an intensive day yesterday, and I'm looking very much forward to insightful contributions today. First of all, let me say it's an honor to represent the Frankfurt Financial Center here today at the Union of Arab Summit here in Cairo. To explain you a little bit, give you the background, which were founded in 2008 by the state, the city, the stock exchange, the banks, the accountants, the lawyers, the consultants. So over 70 members of the financial community in Frankfurt set up Frankfurt Main Finance to become its voice and representative in the world. So let me tell you a little bit about Frankfurt. Frankfurt is in the heart of Europe. It's a leading financial center of the European continent, and it is an economic powerhouse, as you all know. It enjoys a AAA rating, and Frankfurt ranks as the world's 7th most livable city in the world. And when you come, you will see it. With a world-class infrastructure in transport, trading, and not least of all, data storage and transmission. We have the highest throughput of internet data in the world. Brexit, ladies and gentlemen, even changed it further. A total of 59 financial institutions chose post-Brexit to move part of their business from the City of London into Frankfurt. 59 financial institutions. They moved a total of 800 billion assets, and they created a new 7,000 jobs. And if you read Bloomberg yesterday, they came out that the ECB is not happy with the number of jobs that have moved so far. So we said at the beginning that we expect about 10,000 additional jobs to be created. In 2016, when we said that as Frankfurt Main Finance, we were considered to be a little over-optimistic. But now 7,000 are already there. The ECB says they want to see more on the ground. For the simple reason, because the UK is no longer part of the Union. We have leading banks from the US, from Switzerland, from Japan, from Korea, from China, but very, very few apart from the Arabic world. That's why I urge you very much to take the opportunity to come in June to Frankfurt.
Recording in progress.
To see with your own eyes and hopefully start operation. We will be very happy for each and everybody of you who wants to have special contacts, special meetings. We'd be very happy and make you all doors open in the Frankfurt Financial Center in Frankfurt. As you can see, Our conference is under the high patronage of the Federal Minister of Finance, Christian Lindner. He, by the way, steps ceaselessly into the footsteps of Mr. Olaf Scholz, our Federal Chancellor, who was 2 years ago, when Mr. Wissam and myself first planned for it, first time, was the patron of this conference. So on all levels of the German government, you can be rest assured of full support for that conference. And I'm sure you also know that our foreign minister, Annalena Baerbock, on one of her first visits at all, came to this part of the world, came to Egypt, and she clearly said that we want to continue, and it's of utmost importance for Europe to have a very close and a very good relationship with the Arabic world. It becomes now even more important as the Ukraine crisis, the war in Ukraine, caused major disruption on energy supply, on food supply, on chains of production all over the world. So these major disruptions will be part of what we will be addressing. And as I'm sure most of you are aware, Germany is also holding the G7 presidency this year. So there will be a lot to see and a lot to learn about what's going on and how the aspects of energy security, food security, and supply chain disruption and repair will be addressed. I can give you a few good news in that respect. Just a couple of days ago, even though the European Union did not agree on oil sanctions, Germany unilaterally decided to cease oil supply from Russia by the end of the year. So lots of opportunities for countries from the region. And in the other hand of the coin, that I think is equally important to the region, is Germany increased the space on which to grow wheat by 75% already during this summer. So the reaction is fast, it's powerful, and it is a good time to show union. Your name is Union of Arab Banks, and I like it very much, and it's for us also the idea of creating a new and a stable bond and union. Let me make one last remark before we turn to the questions. During COP26 in November this year, the International Financial Reporting Standards Foundation and the International Sustainability Standards Board were set up. Finally, finance came into fold. The world recognized that the sustainable transformation can only be achieved with finance. And we also all know that the alphabet soup of NGOs, of various organizations, of, by the way, 200 taxonomies in the world, create a lot of confusion, and it needs focus. And that setting up of the ISSB, we as Frankfurt considered that to be a unique opportunity, and we pitched for the seat of the board and the chair. We competed with cities like Tokyo, Geneva, London, and many more, and we've gained the seat, and we're very happy and very proud of it. And of course, we will make that an integral part of our joint summit. Let me conclude with that June is actually the best time in the year to be in Frankfurt. It's beautiful weather, it's long days, it's splendid and warm, and you will also have the opportunity, like some of you may eventually have realized, you will visit the city of the new European champion who won last night the European Championship. And on that occasion, ladies and gentlemen, I like to give Mr. Wissam also the T-shirt of the victory of last night. It's a good beginning. Yeah. Let's make it a joint championship.
Thank you for making double XL. Thank you, Mr. Vass. Allow me to speak in Arabic. الحقيقة كما تعلمون أو معظم الحضور بيعرف إنه اتحاد المصارف العربية يعقد مؤتمر الدولي كل سنة بجون بأوروبا. بالرغم حتى من جائحة كورونا حتى السنة الماضية عقدنا المؤتمر في روما، وكان تحت رعاية رئيس الوزراء الإيطالي السيد ماريو دراغي اللي هو كان بالسابق رئيس البنك المركزي الأوروبي. وفعلا عقدناه بوقت صعب جدا. هالسنة أعتقد إنه مؤتمر فرانكفورت يأتي بمكانه وزمانه لعدة أسباب. بلا شك السبب الأول التداعيات اللي عم نشوفها من الأزمة العالمية الحالية والحرب أوكرانيا. واليوم ألمانيا عم تلعب دور شوي معتدل إلى حد ما، هيدي بالدرجة الأولى. مكانة ألمانيا بوجود البنك المركزي الأوروبي والسيدة كريستين لاغارد موجودة كمان في فرانكفورت، فنطلع فعلا إنه فرانكفورت باختيار اتحاد المصارف العربية وبالشراكة مع فرانكفورت مين فاينانس كان خيار استراتيجي لهالسنة. الدعم اللي عم نشوفه من الحكومة الألمانية دعم كبير، بالإضافة إنه فرانكفورت اليوم بتتمتع أو ألمانيا بشكل عام بأكبر خبراء بالتكنولوجي وشركات بالتكنولوجي، وبالتالي المواضيع المطروحة فعلا مواضيع كثير مهمة. حتى إذا لاحظنا اسم المؤتمر المميز هالسنة وهو الاستجابة للصدمات العالمية وإدارة حالة عدم اليقين، وهذا أمر تناقشه صندوق نقد الدولي باجتماعات الربيع بأبريل الماضي، ونحن اخترناه كعنوان لهذا المؤتمر. أما بالنسبة للمواضيع اللي حتنطرح إذا بتسمحوا لي أذكرها وهي في بروشير تم توزيعها أمامكم. أول شيء حنحكي على التحالفات الجيوسياسية والاقتصادية الجديدة، وهذا أمر بطبيعة الحال ضروري. عم نشوف في تحالفات من الهند والصين، وعم نشوف تحالفات طبعا مع روسيا مقابل القوة الاقتصادية لأوروبا وشو حيصير بهالعالم. هنحكي شوي على انعكاسات هذا الموضوع على العالم العربي، على اقتصادات العالم العربي والأمن الغذائي. ضروري نحكي بأسواق رأس المال والتحويلات المصرفية، وهون بحب رحب أكيد بأستاذ فريد رئيس بورصة مصر، شرفنا، أهلا وسهلا فيك، وخي أستاذ رامي دكيان أمين العام اتحاد أسواق رأس المال. صرنا غيرناه من اتحاد المصارف العربية، ونتمنى تعاونكم معنا بهذا المؤتمر لأنه دور كبير فعلا لأسواق رأس المال بهذا المؤتمر تحديدا، وخاصة العقوبات اللي شرتناها أو الجلوبال سانكشنز اللي شرتناه في مواضيع سويفت وغيره. وأنا بتقديري قلت هالكلام بالزمان، الجلوبال سانكشنز اللي عم يصير على دولة بينعكس على دول أخرى وبيخسر بزنس كتير. يعني وقت لما نعمل نوقف سويفت على عمليات مصرفية، الدول الأخرى كمان عم تخسر عمليات تجارية وعمليات مصرفية، وأيضا سويفت عم تخسر، وبالتالي في ربما نشهد تراجع بالنمو الاقتصادي العالمي، وهذا كمان ذكروه البنك الدولي. فإذا عدة مواضيع حتتناول. كمان ذكرنا هلا العقوبات الدولية وتداعياتها على امدادات الطاقة، التجارة العالمية والتغيير المناخي climate change. بالإضافة أكيد حنحكي على التحديات اللي تواجه استدامة النمو الاقتصادي. من النواحي اللوجستية ربما في بعض منا نحن كلياتنا يعني يلاقي صعوبة بمواضيع التأشيرات، وهالفترة هيدي فعلا هي أمر مهم، مع إنه ما حابب أذكرها بس لقيناها إنه أمر مهم حبينا نذكرها. مستر فاس أبدى كل استعداد إن كان بأي دولة عربية يبلغ السفارات لحتى نقدر نستخرج تأشيرات بوقتها، لأنه شهدنا سنة الماضية إنه فعلا كان في نقص بالحضور بسبب التأشيرة، وهذا أمر يعني ما المفروض يصير. كلنا مصارف وكلنا عنا يعني مكانتنا، وما المفروض ابدا حدا يقول لنا لا ما في تاشيره بوقتها. وبالتالي Frankfurt Main Finance they did all the procedure and they spoke with the foreign affairs, the German foreign affairs, and وزارة الخارجية الألمانية بلغت كل السفارات الألمانية بالعالم العربي، وفي حال أي تعقيدات نحن حاضرين، وفي رسالة مستر فاس كمان للسفارة. وبالتالي كل التسهيلات. الأوتيل يلي انعقد فيه هو واحد من الهيستوريكال هوتيل بفرانكفورت، فيري نايس هوتيل فعلا باللوكيشن بالمكانته التاريخية. فاذا نحن بنتمنى مثل ما كان نجاح هذا المؤتمر بالامس وهذا الحضور بعد كورونا، بنتمنى كمان المؤتمر الدولي يكون بهالكثافه ان شاء الله بهالمستوى من الحضور يلي متقام بفرانكفورت. مبدئيا هذا كل شيء بحين نقولوا اي سؤال نحن حاضرين. اكيد رجاء تفضلي.
صباح الخير. Well, I have two questions, one for Mr. Hubert and one for Mr. Fatouh. Hubert, are you a part of the financial system of Germany, first of all? And the question is, what kind of motivations or facilities you would offer for the Arab institutions? Are you offering something particular that can encourage them to go to Germany or to join you? Of course, you are choosing the best platform, which is UAB. I won't do it. I want to talk about UAB. So please answer this question, and I will ask Mr. Wissam later.
Thank you. Very, very happy to answer the question, but allow me for half a minute to just reconfirm what Mr. Wissam was saying is about the visa. We will take care of you, so don't worry. And now let me answer your question. There are many different things. Let me probably start with very simple. It's things like payment. It's transaction banking. It's become much more difficult in the past. All the anti-money laundering, terrorism financing discussions, all these things have added many levels of complexities. I cannot promise you that we can take away the complexities out of the progress. What I can tell you is that you will meet the right people from the regulators, from the central banks, from the commercial banks that deal with these issues. So what can be done will be done. That's number one, and it's very basic, but it's very important. The same applies to trade financing facilities. It continues with development finance. You have in Frankfurt KfW, which is the world's leading development bank, so a lot of you will work together. We have Hermes, which is a credit insurance company for trade finance, which is also going to be a very important partner to talk to. We, of course, then have science, we have research, we have education, we have as our members universities, and we have a sister organization which we helped to found. That was basically in 2008 our very first step, which we did. You remember 2008 was the year of the financial crisis. We thought, well, this is not the perfect start for a financial organization to start in the middle of probably the biggest crisis since '29. So we said we need to do something fundamental, and we set up what is called the Frankfurt Institute for Risk Management and Regulation. And this institute does a lot of research in stability and bank risk management and so forth, and it helps and eases the mutual understanding between regulators and financial institutions. They do like 10, 12 research projects every year. All the major institutions are combined there, and we're also very happy to set you up with universities, research institutions, and think tanks as well. And let me continue with other organizations. I mentioned ISSB, of course, that's very important. ECB in terms of licensing, and what we can offer in particular in Frankfurt is actually you don't have that much competition from other Arab banks. Arab banks are very underrepresented in Frankfurt. We have a strong representation of the US, of European, of Asian banks, strong Japanese, strong Chinese. Basically all the major Chinese banks are there. But Arab banks have been traditionally looking to other locations, mainly London, And they have not yet moved in adjusting post-Brexit. And that's what I'd like to encourage you to look into and see the opportunities that are there.